Okay, I'm just going to back up 1 second, and I'm going to go really fast through this because I forgot to start my recording. Timer time. All right, ready? We already talked about this in the class, and I had to back up for a second. The three undefined terms in geo are point, line, and plane. A point has no dimension and its location. It's represented by a dot. And the letter that you name a point with must be a capital letter. Now we can continue. This is where we had stopped for a moment while I decided to record. So line A has one dimension. It's represented by a line with two arrowheads. And it extends forever in two directions. Through any 2 points, there is exactly one line. You can't draw anything but one straight line through 2 points. Lines are assumed to be straight. They do not curve. Okay? You can use any 2 points on a line to name it. Thank you. You know I'm recording. The line shown can be named line L, which is in case when you do use the word line, you're using this italicized letter here towards one end of the line that's drawn, and it's in italicized, and it's not a point. This is not a point on the line. You can name the line L. Or you can name it with 2 points on the line, which would be line AB, and you use these symbols. You have to put the little line symbol above the 2 letters that you use that are points on the line. So the other way I could name this line, because the order of the letters doesn't matter, would be BA. Anybody still need this page? Oh, I might go far too. Well, my little boxes go disappear as soon as I change the page. A plane has 2 dimensions. It's represented by a shape that looks like a floor or a wall, but it extends without end. So that's what I was describing earlier. The ceiling in this room cannot be extended forever, but it could represent a plane. It's a flat surface that contains points and lines. So there's lines in that ceiling, there are points in that ceiling, lots and lots and lots of them. We draw it as a parallelogram, so that would look something like this. If you're not familiar with the word parallelogram, I'm sure you've heard it before, but it'll be some shape like that. And no, you don't have to draw them wonderfully, just like I didn't. Okay, it didn't have to be perfect, but it should be slanty. I don't want to see boxes, okay? Not a rectangle, not a square. Okay, it should be slanted. Through any 3 points not on the same line, notice it says not on the same line. That's really important. There is exactly one plane. So you can only, 3 points, excuse me, one plane. There is exactly one plane through any 3 points not on the same line. Sort of like the tripod effect, if you think about it. The least number of points that you can use to determine or sit on a seat or have a flat surface, I don't want to make it look like a little animal, but it's 3. Okay, so that's tripod. That's like the least number. A triangle is a really, really stable shape. So you can't determine a plane with 2. You wouldn't know what one it's going through because you go that way, you go that way, all different directions. You got to have 3 to make a flat surface. Okay, you can use 3 points that are not, again, on the same line to name a plane. So remember, not on the same line. This plane shown right here can be called plane M, And with that said, I want you to know that that's the only way you can use one letter. And notice there's no dot next to M. It's not a point. It is simply a letter that is used to name the plane. M is not a point. A, B, and C are points. They have the dot by them. Okay. The other way you could name the plane is using the 3 points A, B, and C, but you have to write the word plane. Every time you name a plane, you have to use the word plane. So this could be plane A, B, C. Or you can scramble the letters up. So if you wanted to do plane and you wanted to spell a word, you could do plane cab. Okay, you have to write out the word plane when you're naming it. Now that was the only way you can do it. You can jumble up any combination of the 3 points, A, B, and C. Would be a good name. So we're going to refer to this diagram here. And I told you I like to use highlighters, so if you're interested in them, this is a good time to use them just to make sure you're clarifying things in your own brain. I'm going to highlight the lines separately right now. You don't have to do this, but I'm waiting because I can tell some people are... I don't think I'm going to color it in because then I'll make a mess of my other stuff. Maybe I could. Now, you see this is plane P. And then the lines are in the plane. Said I wasn't going to do this, and then I did because I still see people trying to get their stuff. Okay. Now, big deal. Plane P. There is a plane called P. Everything that's on it is in it. Okay? All that's in the plane. No reason to think that they're not in it. So we're going to name a line that contains point A. Someone want to give me a name for a line with point A that contains the point A? Okay, I want to know all the ways I can name this line, so I'm going to see if I can get them from you. All right. Well, there's one simple way that's up here. You see this little cursive L? You can write line L. Now, that would have been one way. My pink line is what I'm trying to name. The other way to name a line, okay, if I said A, would that name what big thing I want? If I give you just A, all it's going to tell you is bam, right there. You need how many points to determine a line? It's in the notes. Just 2. Okay, only name your lines with 2 points. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't 3 points on it. If someone said 3, there are 3 points on line L, but you only need to use 2 to name it. You should not use 3. So I could call this, now let's think of it. What's the way for me to name it? All right, Amanda? No, I'm sorry, that's not correct. Emily. AB. Thank you. Other way? That's this, guys. It's really not hard. Just name me that. 2 points on that line. You could do BC. You could do AC. All right. These are all, by the way, or. These are or. If you were answering the question on a quiz, you need to give me one way, if it's all I asked for. I didn't say name the line every way you possibly can. And the letters can be flopped. All right, so with that in mind, I'm hoping you'll be less timid about trying to give me another name for line M. There's line M. Darylyn? BD, you did it. Yep, BD. There you go. There's not as many ways to name this one. How come there aren't as many ways to name it? There's only 2 points given. So you can either name it BD or DB or line M. but the M, they already said line M, so I needed a different way. All right, name a point not on line AC. So all I need is any point that's not on the pink line that hits A and C. So I can pick anything off of it except I can't use P because it's not a point. I can't use the little M because that's naming line M. I can't use the little L because it's naming line L. But I can use anything else that's not on this line and isn't this or this. So I have a couple choices. Cadence? D. Okay, point D, or there's one more, and Nathan? E. D or E, that's it. And you don't have to write the word point. It's okay if you did, but I'm not going to take off if you don't. D or E. All right, another name for line L, please. Another name for line L. Go ahead, Priscilla. For line L, A, B, sure. Any 2 points. Combination of AB, BC, AC, B. Okay, you got it? There's a lot of ors for that one. Name a point not on line L or line M. All right, now I can't be on the green or the pink. And there's only one thing not on there, and that would be E. P cannot be written down because it's not a point. Okay, so now we're going to fill in some more definitions. Okay, in this class is called co-ed. Do you know why? You know what co-ed means? What does co-educational mean, Darylyn? Boys and girls, yep. It means all genders in one room. That's it. Okay, all inclusive, co. All right, so if your points that are on the same line, then they are co-line. But that's not really the word. Co on a line. And it's a special word called collinear. Come here. There it is, collinear. See that? Cool. Collinear points. So if points on the same line are called collinear, how can you negate that and write a word that says, what would points be called if they aren't on the same line? How can you make this the opposite, kind of? I think I heard non. Hey, you got it. Non-collinear. So points on the same line are collinear. Points not on the same line are non-collinear. So here's where I thought you might, some of you, especially if you don't like the fact that it's hard for you to draw a straight line, that's why you have the ruler. If you would like to use a ruler, now would be a good time. I have a tool up here I could use. I can even make dashed lines, but I think I'll just... Now, this is not what I want because it's not finished. What's not finished about it? The arrows, yep. Okay, so an example of collinear. Collinear points would be on the same line, so I'm going to make a cat on my line. Those 3 points are collinear. All on one line. Okay, now I'm going to make an example of non-collinear points. And I'm not even going to bother to make a line. All I have to do is make 2 dots. Now those could be on the same line, and then stick one that's clearly not in line with them. And these are non-collinear points. If you wanted to, you could actually stick one line through them. See how that's the only line I can put through, you know? You don't have to. I actually met somebody once that named their dog Dog. be pronounced a dog. So you just make the emphasis. It sounds like something besides the spelling of dog. Kind of silly. Guess you could name your cat C-A-T. Silly. Oh, come on. Sense of humor, 7th period. Sorry. Oh, I jumped the gun. I hit the button before I was supposed to. It was premature button pressing. All right. Points, lines, or figures on the same plane are called coplanar. The same word is coplane now. So that means they're in the same plane. And figures that do not lie on the same plane are non-coplanar. I bet you figured that one out before I pushed the button. Now that's a little trickier for a lot of people to draw than collinear. We're going to make ourselves a shape called a parallelogram. Oh, mine's not perfect, so yours doesn't have to be there. Look, I'm going to try to fix mine up a touch here. Okay, if that is not, if you get one that good, that's fine. All right, I'm going to call this plane Q. Remember, Q is not a point. And now I'm going to make some stuff in it. Make figures. So I'm going to go ahead and put a line in my plane. I'm going to call this line PU. Or it's up instead. UP. Ooh, lots of meaning on that. Get silly. Okay. And then I'm going to put a point that's not on my line and call it T. These are all coplanar because I put them all in the same plane. Now let's make an example of things that aren't a coplanar. So this is going to be a little harder, so I'm going to go a little slower on this drawing. I'm going to make another one of those shapes, but I'm going to leave some room above it and kind of below it. See, I did terrible, but it's still good enough. Now, I want to make it look like there's a line going through it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is tell you, I'm going to go above this side right here, and I'm going to go straight down, boom, and I'm going to stop before I get to the bottom. And I'll put an arrow up so that it kind of looks like it's going through the plane. And I'm going to make it come out down the bottom. A lot of the diagrams will have a little dashed line right here, which means it goes underneath, but I think leaving it solid maybe would be even better right now. I'm going to put a point on up here at the top. Call it point T. I'm going to put one at the bottom. Doesn't matter what I call it. I just put a P. And then I'm going to put some stuff in here. Not matter what you put in there. You can put a line. I made it actually hit that one. Oh, that's so not straight. Now, I didn't have to make it hit there, but I just want us to know that if I make that line A, I stick another letter on it. Doesn't matter what I call it, but there's a line in the plane. So let's say I call this plane M. I got a line BA in plane M and a line TP that's going through it. Where is the line that's going through the plane hitting it? You see where it's intersecting at point A? Okay, TNP, line TP, I'm going to write it in red. Line TP is, I shouldn't say that. Okay, I don't want to make a wrong statement because I get real nitpicky about this. I don't like when your book is like ambiguous about things, so I don't want to be ambiguous at all. And I don't want to say something that's technically incorrect. So I'm mad at myself for making this line intersect this one. You could put a plane on any crossing line. Think about what I'm saying, and some of you with a little bit better spatial abilities. You have two lines crossing. Can you put a slab? No, pretend my arms aren't lumpy. Okay. If they were smashing through each other base, really, couldn't you put a flat surface on it? Any one? So I can put a flat surface on my lines there. It just wouldn't be the plane that's drawn. So I don't want to say those lines aren't coplanar, because they are. It's just not that plane that's drawn in the picture. So I'm going to put something else on it, and then I can say something that I want to say. So I'm going to make another line on it, because I want to make a little statement to hopefully help more of you get it. It doesn't matter what color I make it. I'm just going to stick one back here. And I don't care if you want to put letters, points on it or what, but I'll just call this line NO. Okay, so line NO is not coplanar. With line TP. See how those are never going to meet? Okay. This line back here is not coplanar with this one. Now, the line NO and line AB, they are coplanar. Do you see how they're going to run into each other at some point? So they're going to be coplanar. But these guys, this line and the red line are not coplanar. If your picture isn't great, don't worry about it. Just understanding the concepts is what's going to matter, and I will have pictures drawn for you most of the time. Okay, we need to move on from that. So two or more geometric figures intersect if they have one or more points in common. And that's what I was talking about running into each other. In the intersection, if I get my pen to move, oh, I didn't want the whole picture. The intersection of the figures is the set of points that they have in common. Point A, okay, is the intersection. So point A is where line, M and N intersect. It's just a point, that's it. If you have, so the key thing is the intersection of two different lines is a point, just one. Oops. The intersection of two different planes is always a line. It can't be a point. It's an entire line, and you have to think about this line going, and the planes going on and on and on forever. Okay, those planes extend forever in that line. Just like think about the ceiling and the wall. They can't meet in one little dot. There wouldn't be a wall. It wouldn't be anything holding things up, right? They got to meet in a lot of points for stability. So they must, two planes always intersect in a line, or they're the same plane. Okay, so we've got some, you're looking at this figure. A line containing point A says, use the figure to name each of the following. A line containing point A would be line BC. We've already used BC, so let's name it some other way. The line can be named with any two of the 3 points. We could say AC, or we could say AB. We want to name a plane containing plane B. I can see that I forgot to erase something down here. The plane can be named as plane N because of N being the non-point in that corner there. Or it can be named using 3 non-collinear, very important, they can't be in a straight line, such as plane ABD. We could name it plane ACD. Or, what's another way? We did ABD. We can name it ACD, and there's only one other way. BCD. Because you cannot name it, and it doesn't matter if these are scrambled. Just using any order of those 3 letters works. You cannot name it ABC. You cannot name it plane ABC. So that's because those are collinear points, and you cannot use 3 collinear points. Anybody still need this page? All right, now we're going to draw a few figures for the relationships given. The line AB is in plane Q. What do we need to start with? What do you think we should draw first? The plane, and then put the line in it, okay? So make one of those parallelogram things. Oh, they can be really big if you want. I'm going to stick the Q in one of the corners. It doesn't matter if your Q is in a different corner than mine. And then I'm going to put a line in there. And I'm going to put point A and B on that line. Okay, so it's called plane Q. So I put a Q on the plane. And then I stuck a line in it called AB. Okay, now on 7, we want to make you got to know how to read this. When you see the little symbol like there, you should be thinking line ST. So I'm going to right away make a line, put an S and a T on it. And it says it intersects line AB. So I need a line AB that does what to this one? Goes, yeah. And in your words, you might say, cuts through it somehow. Every period that I've done this, I've done a different picture. It doesn't have to be exactly like what I put on here. It's line AB. I usually put one. It doesn't matter where the A and the B are as long as they're on the line. But make sure we didn't put the B right here because it says they intersect at P. So P needs to be right there where the lines meet. You can ignore my goofy thing right here. I was just... Anybody still need this page? Olivia, okay. Good. Good. All right, point X is collinear with points A and P. So if it's collinear, it means it is on the same line. All right, good. Make a line. Oh, erasers don't make lines. I just make big drawings. Okay, I just need my A and my P, and I need an X. They all have to be on the same line. Apex, sort of. Now I've got 9, so I'm just doing it quick because it's not, hoping that was enough. Doesn't have to be fancy. Point Y is not collinear with T and P. So that means T and P, well, points are always collinear. So I'll go ahead and stick T and P on a line. And then I don't want Y to be on it, so I just draw it somewhere else. So it's not on it. And I put a dot by it. Okay. Draw, oh yeah, I gotta draw this. Line L contains points X and Y. So the point of this is to know or find out or illustrate that you understand that that L is not a point, so I'm going to stick it at one end of the line near one of the arrows and put the point X and point Y on the line. And they're supposed to be capitals. Except for the L. Lowercase italicized or cursive. Anybody still need that? Okay, I'd like to get to a little bit of this. Since today, where is the sun? These are all suns, right? They're just far away, so we call them stars. Stars are suns. Our sun is a star, I guess is the way I should have said that. We have our special name because we call our star a sun. Where are these? So is blank is a boundless three-dimensional set of all points. Today was the day of the lunar eclipse, or the Great American Lunar Eclipse. We were looking up in space. It was what did I say? I said lunar. Because our moon eclipsed the sun. It was a solar eclipse. My mistake. Pardon? We rotate around the sun. Yes, we can. I do know the difference, and I've had astronomy in college even, so I don't know how I came out of my mouth as lunar. We had solar eclipse today, but we didn't get the full effects. But it's a set of all points in the universe. Okay, so if we were looking at this diagram, this is when it gets tricky for a lot of kids, so we might want to highlight this thingy. Some people can see 3 planes there, and some people find that really awkward. So how you can color it, I'm going to color, oops, that's a little dark. Let me use a lighter color for that. Plane P. I'm going to color this. See how there's dashed lines there? That's why I'm making this solid. Okay, and then the only other part I could really make solid of that plane would be down here. You want to see it a little bit better. And then you could color this one here to here. It'll give you a little better effect, I think, for you to visualize. And back there for N, plane N. And then if you want to get it colored to the way it would look absolutely the best, would be a different color in here. And I think some of you it will start to finally come to fruition, like you'll be able to tell what it's looked like. It's like they took some cards or pieces of paper and intersected them. Maybe that's a description you could live with. That help? A little bit? And some people it's really hard to see. The intersection of planes O and N. Two planes always intersect in a line. So O and N intersect in, there's only one way, AB, line AB. Line AB is actually the intersection of each of the planes. Do you see that? The intersection of two planes is always a line. Does a line AB intersect point C? Does it run into this? No. I don't know what this is. Let me see if it's something. Yeah, big arrow. Okay. I forgot. If I made something, I have pull out sometimes. All right. Name plane P another way. So you got to look at plane P. This will be our last question. I need three things that are actually in the yellow zone. Yep, A, B, and C. So you'd have to name it, you can name it plane A, B, C. And just let me get these two finished. Is N a point, guys? From what I've talked to you about today, is N a point? All right, good. No. Thank you for listening. You should know that if you were listening. Name the intersection of plane ABD and plane P. It's every one of them, it's the same answer. It's line AB. Thank you for we're going to be continuing tomorrow. We will be filling it. Make sure you have your ISN with you tomorrow. We'll be doing the first couple of pages of the ISN, and we'll be doing an assignment and doing a little bit more in the packet of notes. Have a great evening. Bye now. Timer time's over.